Hey, what's good, everybody? Welcome to another live session with the Hype Magazine. I'm your editor-in-chief, Jerry Doby, and this morning I have the blessing of one amazing lioness in the social media and marketing platforms, arena, however you want to address it, by the name of Skye Bradford.
Hi, Jerry. How are you?
I'm amazing. Can't cry, can't complain. Nobody listens to me anyway.
I feel you.
All right, so we had some technical difficulties last time. Today, we're being blessed. It's dreary outside, but it's beautiful inside, and I'm having an amazing conversation with the young lioness that is doing some amazing things. So from the inside looking out, talk to us about Skye Bradford.
Yes. Well, my name is Skye. I am an excellent social media marketer. And on top of that, I am just like enjoying my life as a 24-year-old, and it's really paying off. I have been completely myself online, and now I've positioned myself into becoming almost a full-time influencer. So it's kind of crazy how this is happening. When I started everything, I had no idea that I would be getting approached by like all these different brands to pay me to literally tweet or like, make an Instagram reel. And now it's just like, okay, I think I can do this, like I've got my feet wet a little bit. I've, done my thing as far as doing the marketing services and consulting. But now I think I'm ready to transition more into just like being a creator and, doing my thing. Like it's so much more fun to make money for like posting a tweet and going rather than like, sitting in a meeting for an hour with somebody working through their strategies. And maybe that could be a thing where like I need to raise my prices, but I'm like, I don't know. I've been having fun with it, man.
I've been watching you, show your growth, and your email openings and things like that. So first and foremost, you tried to escape the 9 to 5, or you did escape the 9 to 5, took the leap of faith. Uh, what was like the defining moment? We talked about this before, but I want you to tell the people, what was the defining moment that made you take that step?
Well, I think that defining moment for me was, I was working with a lot of celebrities and, kind of like major big businesses that are common household names. And I think that, when you work for people like that, it's really exciting. And, at first you get your feet into it and you're like, oh my God, I know this person and I know this person, but those are like not to, some of those people were so terrible. Like they were some of the worst people to work for, and so I just felt like as a Black woman in this space, I was not being valued. I wasn't being appreciated. I was dealing with clients that were cursing me out on Zoom or, just being really impolite. Yeah, like first thing in the morning. And it's just like, at this age in my life, like I feel like I'm in such a vulnerable state, like I'm learning a lot as an adult, I'm growing a lot, frontal lobes almost fully developed. So I'm, I'm figuring things out as I go, man. So to be in a space like that, and it was my first position where I was making nearly 6 figures, so that's pretty much anybody's dream. Like I went to college, to get into nursing, then I went to psychology, and that's what I would have been making if I had finished my degree. So I'm like, all right, I'm set. Like I'm ready. Everybody's proud of me. I'm gonna stay at this job forever. And it was so terrible on my mental health. I was waking up with anxiety every day, having full blown panic attacks before I started working. And it just got to the point where I was like, I can't do this, like as much money as I'm making, I can go out and buy whatever I want and I am miserable, and it just kind of became a defining moment for me. And I'm glad I learned that lesson early on in adulthood that like money isn't everything. A high ticket salary doesn't mean that you're going to be happy. It doesn't mean that you're going to feel at peace. And so, I think that was kind of what drove me out of it, was just for the sake of my mental health. I was like, I have to go. I don't know what I'm going to do to figure it out, but like, I don't know, like you said, I took a leap of faith and it's been incredible ever since. It's been about 2 months since my last corporate position. I am doing some contract work with, other companies just so that I can have a stable source of income and, take care of the bills and everything. But I'm enjoying that so much more than what I was, working for somebody else.
Okay. So your mental health state is much better now.
Yes.
Doing
I
it
like
your own
on
platform. Okay.
fire.
Okay. All right, how's your rice cooking coming? I didn't say that.
How's that curveball, Jerry?
Oh Lord have mercy.
But okay, I am getting better at rice cooking. I did get the boil in the bag rice, and I made some last week, and I was gonna mention it to you, but I don't know, I got sidetracked. But it was good though. I'm getting better.
No, I was at, I had to mention that one. I don't know. She has so many skills. She has so many skills that help other people. And sometimes you neglect some of the skills to take care of yourself. And so that was a joke, but at the same time, it's important to note that she's been so involved uh, professionally with developing other people's things, that she is not necessarily taking all the time to take care of herself, and to be able to change your mental health state and your living state to the point where you can pay attention to the things that you need to do to take care of you, both for providing sustenance, not burning boil in the bag rice, making money in a manner that you don't hesitate, you don't dread turning the key in the
Right.
car to going to work. It all ties in. Part of it's a joke, the other part's really serious. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
because it's like you think about just how much you show up for other people. And like in my last position, boundaries were non-existent. Like they would call me at 8 o'clock at night for something, and it was one of those things where I'm like asking my parents and asking my grandma, like, since I'm working from home, does that mean I have to work around the clock? Should I be afraid to tell them no? And they had me, since we were all virtual, there was somebody that literally worked overseas. So I'm clocking out of work, that person's clocking into work, and so it was so much of a mess. But I feel like now I'm in a place where like I'm happier, I'm enjoying my time more. I have time to go on a walk every day, like and it's just like small things that you never really think about, that really impact the way that you show up. So like when it comes to running my own business now, like I don't do anything unless I have all of my little check boxes taken care of. I get up in the morning, I listen to my favorite songs, I will read my Bible or whatever, get my spiritual fix going. I'll talk on the phone with my best friend. I check my social media because, not only am I a social media marketer, but I'm also a Gen Z millennial cusp. So social media is our entire world right now. So, I'll do that in the morning just so it won't distract me later during the day. Like I just make sure that like I have completely filled my cup before I try to pour into anything or anyone else.
Okay. Now, I met you on a thing called Twitter Spaces,
Yes.
and how's that tool working out for you? And tell them the name of your space.
Yeah, so my Twitter spaces are hashtag Skye Says. Skye Says was my blog that I originally started probably about 2 years ago, and that really kind of sent me into the digital marketing and social media marketing field unexpectedly. One of my very first blog posts was just about being a 22-year-old trying to find my voice, and it's crazy that now my voice has become like my biggest asset. So yeah, I house Twitter spaces where I teach people, pretty much anything in this field: social media marketing, email marketing. Last night we had a really great one with a dope turnout. It was social media marketing and data analytics, and I had a friend of mine on there who specializes in all of that. So we really try to just, in my opinion, I try to just give back in ways that I feel like people need. There's so much information out there that people don't even know where to go find it. And so I think that, kind of creating that space to educate people, it has taken me so far. I have almost doubled my Twitter following since the last time we spoke, Jerry. I think I had just hit 1,000 followers the last time I talked to you. And now it's been about a month and a half since then, and I'm at nearly 2,000 followers. So
All
I
right.
don't, yeah, it's moving. It's moving fast. I'll check my analytics. I've had like 200,000 profile visits this month alone. And I'm like, that's so many, 400,000 eyes. Like, what do y'all want?
Congratulations, though.
Thank you.
I don't even know how to check my Twitter analytics. I swear. I never paid attention to that stuff, but I'm just starting to really get more active in it. But you're doing an amazing job, obviously. I watched your little tweets, were not little tweets, but your tweets. They are little because they're quick.
They're only 180
Yeah,
characters.
only 80 characters. So they're not full paragraphs. I watch your tweets where, you're shouting out about, hey, I doubled my Twitter followers. I'm really happy. These things that are pleasing you. And people are saying, oh, wow, she's doing that for herself. She could do that for me. And it's turning into bucks. So
Yeah.
whatever you're doing is you doing it right. So
Thank you.
congratulations to you.
Appreciate
Congratulations to
it.
you. And
I was
thank
on a call before this, with a client trying to help her get her Instagram and her Twitter off the ground. So it's exciting. I never thought that I would be able to, really pursue myself like this. So it's paying off.
I am finding out that having a social media person is an imperative.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you hit me up with a question, um, and I had already solved that question before you hit me. Otherwise, yeah. So
Yeah,
the
that's
company
okay.
kind of picked a solution and that applied across the board. And I'm like, well, damn, we could have, been working with the system. But I apologize.
Yeah, there's always room for opportunity. So
I,
I'm here.
hey, I got a personal page. Let me get some money, and where I could pay your fee,
We can
and
work.
no negotiation. I'm not a swap meet shopper, so I pay your fee so I can get my stuff scraped. You feel me? Anyway, so what's coming up next for Skye? You told me that you had some changes, so I want to give you an opportunity to expound on those changes. Did you say something about a book or something?
I have a couple of ebooks that I've dropped lately, and one of them is 5 strategies to increase your online sales. The other one is called Instant Influencer, and it basically walks through a handful of, Instagram strategies. That one's actually free because I'm using it as a lead magnet to, drive people into my email list and things like that. So it's pretty quick, probably about a 6 pager, 7 pager. But yes, I also have some online courses that are coming out pretty soon that's going to teach people social media marketing. I also have an email marketing course that's coming very soon. I'm kind of just, working on them as I go. And, I don't really take too much time, like, okay, I'm going to finish this today. It's more so like when the inspiration comes and when the creativity comes, I'll sit down and really buckle down and do it. But yeah, I also started, growing my platform on Instagram. It's called Cloud9 Academy. So it's all about, my social media journey and how other people can grow on social media as well. And that has really popped too. I think I've been doing about 2 weeks of consistency and I've gained 100 followers. I literally started at ground zero and I couldn't even like track my data. I couldn't look at anything that I usually look at to grow a platform because Instagram doesn't give you access to that until you hit 100 followers.
Okay.
So a lot of that was just like a shot in the dark, like I'm just taking chances and, but it really worked though. So I'm happy about it. I'm proud of it. I also launched another Instagram account called Soul by Skye. I think that, when it comes to women in business, oftentimes we neglect things, like our mind, body, and soul, obviously. And so, I've kind of created a space for women to gather and to just focus a little bit more on who we are as individuals rather than our title, rather than our profession, things like that. So, my first couple of videos were about, how to deal with, lack of support. A lot of times women will see that they're not getting the support that they need whenever they start their own thing. I also talk about like how to be the only woman on a team or in the boardroom, things like that. I talk about health and nutrition, mental health. And so that's taking off pretty quickly too. So I'm excited about that. I think that these were both things that I wanted to do over a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. I bought my Cloud9 Academy domain name last June. And then I created both of those Instagram handles probably around the same time. So there kind of been things that I've just been sitting on, but I'm like, now, I don't know. I feel inspired now and I feel so in my element. Like when I'm behind the camera, I've never felt more like me. So it's exciting.
I'm happy for you. Glad to see you in front of the camera too.
Yes.
um, so that you could tell everybody what's going on and share the success. We need the dang on positivity. I mean, they're killing our kids like crazy, like 90 going north. So we have a young person who's made it through school, past the school shooters, and doing the dang on business and making it happen. I'm excited to talk to him.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. You made it. It used to be gangbangers we had to worry about. Now it's shooters.
Now it's the school. Isn't that crazy?
Man.
I actually just had my very first public speaking event a couple of weeks ago with some
Mhm.
high school kids, and they were sophomores. So about, 14, 15. And I talked to them a lot about social media marketing and entrepreneurship. And, but more so they wanted to know about like how to grow their TikTok and, how to start their own business. So we definitely talked a lot about that. And then there was, of course, like the girls like, oh my God, you're so pretty. How do you do your makeup? And I'm like, hey.
We're so superficial.
Right.
This girl got a brain.
Yeah.
Dig
So it
into the
was funny.
brain. The hell with the makeup.
It was definitely an eye-opening experience. I think that next time I'll focus a lot more kind of on just TikTok and things that are a little bit more appealing to that generation. So
Tell them I'm dark, young, and fine. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know.
basically.
Yeah. Yeah. Now get this knowledge from me about your business and get your money up.
And
Worried
I,
about some
I,
makeup. What
I
makeup? Do I use Ulta Beauty or do I go to Black Fossil Rock makeup?
or Fancy.
Yeah. That craziness. Fenty. I even forgot about Rihanna. You know what I mean? I got a 14-year-old. I swear to goodness, I could choke her. Sometimes I could
Oh
just.
yeah, they're my sister's 15 and they are very,
I had
you know,
like 16 palettes. I didn't
yeah.
even know the makeup case was called a palette. Until one came in here, they backed it up in a semi truck and rolled it in on a dolly. And she says, "This is my makeup palette." I'm like, "Oh my God."
Like, okay.
No, I wanted to tell you, get your own place. You your makeup and your cat. Anyway, it was fun. I learned about you, Joe. People, I swear to God. What's the most satisfying about what you do, though?
I think the most satisfying thing has been seeing just like the reward of doing my own thing, pursuing myself and putting myself out there. A lot of people will tell me that I'm inspiring them to do their own thing, and I love that because I think that so many people have a misconception about social media. People think that you can't get paid from social media unless you're like a big, person or whatever. But I have companies that will pay me $200 to $300 for a single tweet, and we just said a tweet is less than 200 characters, so
That ain't
it's
bad.
really cool. And I only have like, well, like I said, right now I have about 2,000 followers, but the way that I do that, and secure those deals is by showing people that, hey, this is the reach that I have. Like, here's how many accounts that I reach. Here's how many people look at my profile, So I think that understanding the more business aspect of social media helps me so much. And I don't know, I feel like I'm kind of satisfying like that inner child in me. I always wanted to be like an influencer, always wanted to be on TV or whatever. I talked to somebody years ago when I first started Sky Says, and I was like, I want Sky Says to be like a magazine, and I want my own TV show, and I want this and I want that. And it's like now I'm getting in places where I'm almost reaching the things that I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to get into public speaking, and I've always been like, I'm gonna have my own TED talk one day. Like, that's always been my thing is like I'm giving my TED talk. I will ask anybody in my life at random, like, so what are you wearing to my TED talk? Like
Right.
what am I gonna wear to my TED talk? Where should we go eat after I give my TED talk? Because I'm just honestly I'm so confident in myself. I feel like I can do it. So many people grace that stage. And so, it's definitely something that I'm working towards. Like I got asked to do a public speaking event here in Houston for a business women's conference.
Mm.
So
How'd it go?
yeah, that's exciting. I haven't done it yet. They just reached out to me yesterday, actually.
Okay.
So
How you
yeah,
feeling about it?
I'm excited. And to create my rates for that,
Mm.
that's exciting.
Mm.
Public speakers get paid a lot of money. So, I'm like, I don't know, man. I feel like I'm living in like my wildest dreams right now. And I know that it's just the beginning. It's only been literally 2 months of me doing this. So it's like I'm enjoying the baby steps. I'm also super excited to be like, oh my God, I can't wait for what's next. What about a year from now, 6 months from now? But it's one of those things where I'm like, slow down, enjoy the process, enjoy the journey, and just let it ride. It's been cool though.
Okay. And with the constant changes and nuances that are happening every day on the social sphere, you never
Hmm.
get bored. It'll always be something new to learn or some new exercise to do on your social media.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I have to call you back. Not you. Nah. So yeah. So that's been fun for me. Like I've been doing these darn exercises that take like an hour and a half. Uh,
Hmm.
on my Instagram. She's not going to go away.
Is it what are you doing? Is it Instagram live? I've been seeing the Hype magazine. I don't think it's your personal account, but I've been seeing the Hype magazine go live a lot
Yeah,
lately.
we have a couple of contributors. Like we have the Sunday summer Sunday hype soul Sundays, where
Hmm.
it deals with the soul singers and that whatever. And Summer does a really good job. I just can't remember the genre of the doggone music. It's soul music, but they call it something else, right? Soul music though. Then we have another guy from Indiana, Matt, who on either on Wednesday or Friday.
I tune into his a lot. Yeah, I see him during the week.
Yeah, he does this thing, and I don't go on live, but the lives get a lot of attention. I'm
That's
shocked. I'm shocked that many people really pay attention to lives, and I'm like, you get 3,000-4,000 people on a live. That's
and I
big.
know that y'all hired a social media person, but like I would so love to see a little bit more on the Twitter account than just the caption that links to the article.
They only they only work on Instagram.
Mm.
They don't work on the Twitter.
Cause yeah,
So
man, the Twitter.
Twitter is automated. So every time I post something, it just well, we don't really engage a lot from the Twitter. I should do more. I will.
Big room for a lot of room for growth over there. I
Yeah,
think there could pop for y'all for real.
I believe that. I believe that. We gotta talk offline
We'll talk. We'll
about the
talk.
Twitter. Yeah. I'm real sketchy about my verified accounts. Like, turning somebody loose is,
Mhm.
yeah. And I just met you over a pot of burnt rice. So
But I promise the rice is better, and it'll be. It's just gonna keep getting better.
all right,
Basically,
all right.
you're gonna
We'll,
talk to
we'll
me,
definitely talk about Twitter.
and I'm gonna be a rice cooking expert.
All right. We'll talk about Twitter. We'll talk about Twitter. The
We'll talk about.
Instagram is handled, but definitely we need to do something with it. So, I always start people off on my personal page. So because if I lose my verification, that's fine. I don't really care. But the company. Oh,
Mhm.
shadows in the back. Okay. Somebody
Yeah.
just walked across. Okay. All right. It's lovely. Anything that you'd like to cover that I may have neglected thus far?
I don't think so. I think we're on a good track. I think I talked about Soul. I talked about Cloud9. Yeah, my email list is booming. I think I've just been like I tunnel vision locked in on everything, and now it's just it's been uphill since then. So I'm proud of it. I'm excited, and I'm taking it day by day. It gets difficult sometimes, but I realized that this is what I signed myself up for. And I also realized that, like as an influencer at a micro level, I can only imagine what it's going to be like at a major level. So right now I'm learning a lot about, let's see, checking in with myself before responding to things.
Mm.
I'm learning not to engage in arguments or engage with trolls. I'm limiting my comments now because like too many people will get up under my stuff like talking crap that I don't even want to hear. Yeah, so like you can't comment on my stuff if I don't follow you back. Or I'll
Yeah,
get
I
like,
noticed that
oh
little
my.
tag. I gotta learn how to do that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you can comment because you follow or she followed you. I'm like, oh well, damn, I feel privileged. Thank you very much.
See, it also kind of creates that demand too. It helps me get a lot of followers because people want me to follow them back so they can comment on my stuff. But I'm getting very selective now with my online connections because like I don't know, it's been some stuff, but it's all about the way I see it. I the way I see it, I'm a business now. So I carry myself as such. So, it's like if you want me to argue with you online, you gotta send me a check first. Like I'm getting paid for these tweets. If I'm getting paid to tweet, I'm not arguing with you for free. Send me some money, then maybe we can talk. You
That's
know?
See my pinned tweet. I
See,
can't do nothing without a deposit.
tip jar is linked up above.
Yeah. You just tell them if you want me to use my brain to
My
ignite your campaign, my platform, pay me. Get some money.
money. Or
Yeah.
you'll have people that'll like hit you up and just be like I don't know. First thing yesterday morning, somebody hit me up and was like, "I'm taking an Instagram break and I need to know how to grow this, and this. Like, what do I need to research?" And I'm like, "You didn't preface with a good morning, with a hi, how are you? Like,
Yeah.
what's up, Sky?" I'm like, but it's certain things that I have to just like I said, just remind myself, like, you signed up for this.
I
You
wouldn't
know,
answer that. I wouldn't
yeah,
answer that.
no, and
First
I did.
thing you do is say good morning to me. I would
All
have
right,
answered like that.
yeah, and I'm
First
like,
thing you say is hello.
hey, like, hey. And yesterday was a rough day for me. Like, I found out my dad is sick, he has COVID, and so he's okay. It's not terrible, but I was just like, I'm like, I'm already waking up in a mood, and then the first thing you do is demand something from me. But it's like, hey, if this is it on a micro level, I have to show
There,
myself and the universe that I can handle it on a bigger level as well.
there
So
are
I
a
look at it.
pain in the neck. The larger you grow, the
Hmm.
more the knuckleheads tend to come out. And as we find more babies raising babies, social etiquette has gone out the window. The traditions and mores that we learned from our parents and grandparents have not translated to this millennial and or Gen Z, whatever the heck it is in this century. It hasn't translated to that. So, but they've improved from the play my shit.
Yes, right. They've improved from that, so I'll take it.
They've improved from that part. You know what I mean? But some of the other stuff is ridiculous too.
Yeah, it gets
They
weird.
need you. Go get Skye Bradford so you know how to engage with people. This
So
is
you
a young
know how to
lioness
talk to
that
people.
has mastered the King's English, Queen's English, however whatever side of the coin you're on with it. And she's leading people. She has the ability to lead people through the maze that is social media and marketing, and she's doing it for herself. So her show Improve is right there. She's got the analytics, and we should support this young lioness. This sister is doing it. Old heads like me, look, I'm old and set in my ways, uh, but I'm looking at her account for sure because she says some amazing things, and she has some. I try to get in her space when I can. It's usually a bunch of women, but they're not cackling. They're talking business.
We are talking business, dropping gems all.
Right. Don't you sexist people, don't you get on me because
That's
I
not
was
his
raised with 9 sisters. They cackle.
and you will not get a mic. It's like I will not. You will not get a mic if I don't know who these people are. I'm like, I'm always skeptical because I've been in spaces and people will give somebody a mic thinking they're going to ask a question. It's really a troll, and so
Right.
like, I gotta kind of, I don't know. It's kind of a vetting process you got to
Been in
go
there. Been in
through.
there. Been in there a few of those. Scott, I really appreciate the time that you've given me. Thank you for doing this a second time. I you
Yeah.
know, I am going to sit here and watch it process and put it in the folder to
Okay.
ensure that we got this down because I want to share you with people because I think that you're, a magnificent example of can do, a magnificent example of intestinal fortitude and straight out courage to quit the 9 to 5 and do your thing. When you know you're right, you're right.
When you know you're right, you're right, and I think that having a good support system behind me, my family and my friends, they're all like 10 toes behind me, so it's incredible. Like, I'm very blessed. I'm happy and I'm in a good place, but I certainly would not have been there with the privilege of that support system, so it's good. I'm happy. I'm proud of myself.
All right. I'm proud of you. All right, everybody. The Hype Magazine live sessions, Skye Bradford, amazing young lioness. We support her. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Jerry. It's been real, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ah.